Okay, order of operations is... This video is going to be a little bit longer than the others because there's a bunch of things going on here. But order of operations means when you have more than one operation, so let's say you've got an addition and a multiplication, or you've got a subtraction and a division in a problem, which one do you do first? What's the order that you do them in? So if I had a problem like this, 3 plus 2 times 7, and I just went from left to right, and I did 3 plus 2, which is 5, times 7, and that'll give me 35. That is actually wrong. The answer is not 35 to that problem. The answer is, the answer is 17. Now the reason why the answer is 17 is because the 2 times 7 is done first, right? So 2 times 7 is 14, and then we add the 3. So there's a specific order that mathematicians have decided on so that we don't get this problem where people are confused by other people's math and they don't know which one to do first. We've all decided that this is how it's going to be done, okay? So the order is this. The first thing that gets done is anything inside parentheses. Now, parentheses are these things. Okay? Anything inside those gets done. So here I've got the same problem as I had over here, right? But in this case, the answer is 35, because the first thing that gets done is this. It's been put inside parentheses on purpose so that we get to 35, because that's what we wanted to do. That's what this problem was trying to get to, okay? Here it wouldn't be because it wasn't in parentheses. But because it's been put in parentheses, it's going to go first. So anything in parentheses will go first. So that is step number 1. The second step is exponents. So whenever you have an exponent, like this 2 to the third power, that's got to be done before the rest. So 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 to the third power is 8, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And the rest of it gets written out exactly the same. So 3 plus 8, which is 11, minus 5 is 6. So that's the answer to that one. Exponents is the second thing that's done. So first, anything inside parentheses. Second, exponents. Now third, and this is where a lot of people get mixed up. Third is 2 operations. They have the same number. Multiplication and division. They're opposites, right? They're inverse operations, but they're both done in the same step. So if you've got them here, like you've got division and a multiplication, well, you can't do them both at the same time. Which one gets done first? So just like reading from left to right in the English language, you do the problem from left to right. So you're going to, whatever you encounter first, multiplication or division, that gets done first. So 15 divided by 3, which is 5, times 9 is 45. You wouldn't do the 3 times 9 first, because if you did that, you get 15 divided by 27, which is not 45. So it doesn't matter which order you do them in. So we're going to go from left to right, whichever one you hit first. So down here, I'm going to hit a multiplication before I hit division. So because it's all in the same step, it's the one I hit first, multiplication. So 3 times 20, well, that's 60, divided by 10, that's going to equal 6. So step 4 is exactly the same as step 3, except we're using addition and subtraction this time. And this one is not necessarily so vital. If I did it in the wrong order here, I'd still end up with the same answer. But there's probably situations where it does make a difference. I'm sure there are. So 4 plus 8, we're going to hit plus or addition first before subtraction in this one. And again, they're the same step. They're step 4 from left to right. So 4 plus 8 is 12, minus 2 is 10. And in the one below, we're going to hit a subtraction first, and then the addition. So 4 minus 2, which is 2, plus 11 equals 13. So those are the steps. Parentheses first. Anything in parentheses gets done first. Then any exponents that you might have. And in 5th grade, we don't generally have this step because we're not using exponents, except in powers of 10. Then a multiplication and division from left to right. Then addition and subtraction from left to right. So let's do a problem. You might hear or see this acronym, PEMDAS, or PEDMAS, depending on how it's written. In England, we learned it BODMAS, which is brackets of meant exponents. Brackets meant parentheses, so BODMAS. But again, it's just showing the order that you come in. Notice I wrote the division and multiplication on the same line, because that is step 3, and the addition and subtraction on the same line, because that is step 4. So parentheses number 1, exponents number 2, division and multiplication number 3, addition and subtraction from left to right number 4. So you've got to remember it's from left to right for both of these. So if we look at this problem, what do I see first? Do I see any parentheses? Yes, I do. I've got 35 minus 11. So that's going to get done first. So 35 minus 11 is 24. Everything else then gets written out the same way. We do it one step at a time so we can kind of see what we're doing, and if we make a mistake, it's easy to go back and take a look. Do I have any more parentheses now in this problem as it stands? Nope, I got rid of those in the last step. So do I have any exponents? I sure do. I've got this one. Okay, so that's got to be done first. 2 to the 3rd power, did earlier, was 8. Then everything else gets written out exactly the same way. Okay, have I got any more exponents? Nope. So what's the next step? Division and multiplication from left to right. The first thing I hit going from left to right, I've got a division and a multiplication there, and an addition. Those are the 3 operations that I've got left. Division, an addition, and a multiplication. The next step after exponents was division and multiplication from left to right. So it's either this one or this one we're going to do. And as we move from left to right, this is the one we hit first. So this is the one we do first. 24 divided by 8 is 3. Everything else gets written out exactly the same. Addition, nope, I've still got division and multiplication step because there's still a multiplication I haven't done. So 5 times 6 gets done first, which is 30, and everything else gets written out the same. 3 plus 30, that's the last operation. 33 is the answer to this original problem. That would have been difficult to solve if we didn't know which order to do things in. But you can see that taking one step at a time, running through the order, you can get down to the simplified form. One other thing I want to talk about is nested parentheses. Nested means one parenthesis inside another parenthesis. So what I've got here is I've got this set of parentheses, and it's inside this set of parentheses. Now, so we don't confuse each other, the outside parentheses are shown as these brackets, right? So the way it works is the inner parentheses, the innermost parentheses are like this. The next level out looks like this. And then if you have to have another one, you get these like curly brackets on the outside, right? And that shows you what the innermost brackets are. You can see it more clearly. So I'll go ahead and erase that. So what do I do first? Well, I do the innermost brackets first, the innermost parentheses first. So that would be these ones. So the 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. Everything else gets written exactly the same as it was before. I'm just going to leave it as brackets since it's already there, but I could change it to parentheses. Okay. So all I've done now is get rid of those parentheses. Now I still have more parentheses. I've got all of that. Now within that parentheses, I've got an exponent, an addition, and a multiplication. Well, which comes first? Well, it's the exponent. So inside the parentheses, if you have more than one thing going on, you still have to use order of operations inside there. So the exponent's going to get done first. This bit's going to get done first. So 2 to the 2nd power is 4. We'll put everything else back the way it was. We're just kind of simplifying this expression. Okay, one step at a time. The next step, we're still inside the parentheses, because we haven't gotten rid of them yet. the next step is the 2 times 6, because multiplication comes before addition. So 2 times 6 is 12, and everything else gets written exactly the same. I'm going to leave it as brackets there. You can see how we're slowly simplifying this. All right, well, what's next? Well, the only thing I got left inside those parentheses is a 4 plus 12. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. 4 plus 12 is 16. And now I can just drop those parentheses because they're no longer needed. We're done with them. So now I've just got 2 operations left. Multiplication is going to come first. So 5 times 16 is going to come first. Well, 5 times 10 is 50, and 5 times 6 is 30. 50 plus 30, that's going to give me 80. So if you don't know, you could always do it, off to the side. And 80 minus 8 is the last operation, and that's going to give me 72. So this is the fully simplified form of this original question. It looks kind of complicated up there, but as you do it one step at a time, using order of operations, you can get down to this 72. So that's order of operations, big long video. Hopefully it was useful. Just remember, when you're doing the order of operations, parentheses first, exponents second, and then division and multiplication is its own step left to right. Once you're done with all of those, addition and subtraction is the final step from left to right. And when you're done with all of that, you're down to your simplest form.